Now, this is the BSA R12 CLX Pro. I've already taken action out of the stock, so I'll put that out of the way. That leaves us with this part. Now, a common fault on the R10 and the R12 is leaking from the fill port. So I've got a seal kit specifically for the fill port. I've got a seal kit for the complete gun as well. But yeah, we're going to take that out. Another common thing on these is the seal on the bottle. I've got a lifetime seal to go on there, so let me find the pieces. So I've got a complete seal kit for the rifle, R12 CLX. Some seals for the bottle, which is supposed to be a lifetime seal, never need to change those. This is the seal kit for the fill port, and I also ordered, I don't know if you can see them, there's like a little brass top hat, a spring and a ball bearing. That should become apparent when we take it apart. So we'll get that out of the way. In fact, I'll fit that first, and that's the job done then, isn't it? It wasn't leaking on this one, but I just ordered it while I was on the website. They do feel a bit stiffer than the rubber one. Try and gently get it over the threads. I don't know if you can see that on the end there. I mean, bearing in mind this rifle is not that old, that's a bit of rust and a bit of corrosion. Doesn't bode well, does it? Anyway, that's that done. New seal on the bottle. Let's put that to one side. I mean, I'll keep the old seal because there's nothing wrong with it, but I just thought, well, I'll put a lifetime one on it and we ain't got to worry about it then. So these are the seals for the fill port. There's two of each, so you've got three seals. You've got a big one, a little one and a medium one. Now apparently you can do this without taking all the scope and stuff off. I think what this thing here they call the toaster rack, that's got to come off, and then we can unscrew this and then get into there. So, a Rogue BB. I've stripped it down a bit further, so I took the scope off, took the barrel shroud off because I was going to take the barrel out. This was so tight, I thought I was going to have to break something off, but now that should just come undone. It's a little bit tricky because obviously you can't get much of a tool in there, but we'll just undo this. I can't even get my fingers in there to grab it. Trust my luck, got the longest thread in the world. So that's that off. We'll take this screw out, which is your retaining screw apparently. There is a washer on there, so we'll keep hold of that. Now we can undo this. Which is fucking tight. Don't think this gun's ever been apart before. we'll be changing that O-ring. But I think the bits we need, so we'll just take that out now. That O-ring is mullered. I don't know if you can see that. It's as flat as a pancake. And then in here we've got the guide with the spring. Now I have got a new one of those. But in here we should have a ball bearing. There's a bearing. I've got a new one of those as well. And that O-ring sits just in there. And that looks like it's blown as well. Not great. Not the best. Give it all a good clean. So here's the new seals. So we've got a seal for this piece just on there. Let me take that off. So there's that seal, the seal that goes on there, O-ring, and then the O-ring that goes inside the gun. So can't get it out of the bag. They come with two of each, so you can do this job twice, should you need to. I don't know how often these things need changing. So we've got one for the rifle, one for the thing with the spring, and one large one for that piece. Just give everything a real good clean up. It's all covered in green. I don't know if it's thread lock or just dirty old horrible grease or what. So I've got a new spring, a spring guide, and a ball bearing here. So I am going to fit them. Because I know this rifle isn't that old, and the previous owner didn't use it that much. Make sure you grease up your O-rings before you put them on. Of course, makes the job more tricky getting them on. Now you've got greasy fingers. And they are fiddly, these air rifle parts. Get it on this. Just getting it over the threads is tricky. Alright, that's on. New spring, valve guide in there. Bit of grease on this one. Try not to get too much in the inside. So that's got to go in there. And you can see that I've just put a new O-ring down in there. So I'm going to drop in the ball bearing and hopefully it'll sit in the... Yeah, that's sitting inside the O-ring. So now I'm going to put this piece back in. Just nip that up. And this piece goes back in. Now there's like a horseshoe plastic piece on here. That's got to sit like that. Now when it comes to tightening that piece up, you need to make sure that the toaster rack's going to fit on. You see that toaster rack's got a sort of a cutout there, and that goes like that. So that's that. But before we do that, just put this retaining screw back in. He says. No, that's it. Don't go too tight with it. So that's that. Let's put this toaster rack back on. Now this was super tight when I took it off, so I'm not going to go crazy tight. Just nip it up. Now before I put everything all back together, I'm just going to put the bottle on. So I'll put a little bit of grease on that O-ring. Then we'll put some air in it. See if it holds air, because it was leaking out the fill port. Alright. Just going to put some grease on these, because everywhere there's an O-ring, it's best to have a bit of grease. Alright, let's close that. Alright, go nice and slow. So it ain't quite right here somewhere. Oh well, I shall take it all apart, check it, and we'll see what's going on. So I took it all apart. It looked like the spring guide had dropped out and gone in sideways. So I'm going to try it again, which would mean that I'm going to go to about 100 and something, whatever it is. So far, that was hissing out of there before. Well, I think that's that job done then, isn't it? That's about 130 bar in there at the moment. So I'll get all the rifle put back together, and then I'll fill it right up and we'll leave it for 24 hours and see what happens. I won't come back to you on a video with that, but if it starts leaking again and I've got to take it apart again, then I'll obviously address it in another video. But for the time being, yeah, job done. It looks, it's holding pressure. You could physically hear it leaking out. So I'll probably top it up to about, try and get it on 200, and then I'll know if it leaks or not. So yeah, catch you in the next video. So 2 thumbs up from me.